What's going on, everybody? And welcome to the very first episode of Stories of the Studio, the podcast where we get to sit down with some of the hottest music acts in town. Today I'm joined by itstonecapone and NitoBeatz, who might know a thing or two about dropping the beat. Yes, guys.
Appreciate you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
Dude, anytime, guys, anytime. This is going to be a really fun episode, guys. I'm super excited to get to learn more about you guys. Want to know you a little bit more personally, man, but dude, it's going to be a great episode, guys. So, without further ado, you guys sit back, chillax, and get ready to start moving and grooving as we get ready to experience their story of the studio. All right. So, Nito, Tone, how you guys doing today, man?
Doing all right.
Doing
all
great,
right.
man. Thanks.
Woo. Anytime. I'm glad to have you guys here, man. I appreciate you guys. You're my first guest, dude.
That's big. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
It's an honor.
Dude, well, no, I'm very appreciative of you guys too. And dude, I know you guys got some stuff cooking in the kitchen, man. So
Definitely. Always.
Dude, so I'm excited to start delving into that and stuff, dude. But you guys, why don't you just go ahead and introduce yourselves a little bit and tell us what you guys do?
You go first.
Alrighty. So my name is NitoBeatz. Also Juan. And I'm just a producer out of Griffith. Been at this at 2 years since 2019, sophomore year of college too. And just producer and just trying to get better, stuff like that. Trying to find my way in the music industry.
And that's what it's all about, man.
Yep.
Tone, man, how about you?
My name's itstonecapone, but everybody calls me Tone. I'm straight from Hammond. I'm a producer and an engineer. I've been doing it for about going on 5 years now. Originally just started producing beats and got my way into engineering, just like I said, trying to make my way into the industry also,
Dude, no, that's what it's all about. And it's a struggle sometimes,
Nah,
man.
it definitely is, bro.
Yep, definitely.
It's about who you know, bro. It's not like you could just one day just wake up and be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do music and it's going to happen. Nah, you got to put some work in, bro.
Definitely important to network. Networking is definitely key.
Dude,
definitely key.
That's where it's at, man. Dude, so I know you guys kind of touched on it a little bit, but when would you say was like the first time that you got introduced to like the world of making beats?
So for me, the first time was, like I said, a sophomore year. I just happened to be on YouTube and I stumbled upon a famous Nick Mura video. Nick Mura is a famous producer, Internet Money. It was just a random video of him making beats on, I think, Twitch or Live or something like that. And I just got very fascinated by it because he made it so like quick. And I was like, man, like I've always loved music. So maybe, I could try this out myself. And a couple YouTube videos, days later, I started at it. Got some cracked FL Studio and started with there.
Oh, dude.
And the rest
that's
was
where it's
history.
at, bro. Crack FL. I got pretty much a similar story. It was probably around 2018, end of 2018 into 2019. Around when COVID was about to hit. And like I said, searching YouTube and just stumbling across a live stream, Nick Mura, and I just seen I'm like, dang, like he could really like do this and make music this quick and do it this way. And me, I've always had music like around me. My uncles and everybody. My mom used to do music. My mom used to sing. My uncles were DJs, so. I kind of always had music around, so I just didn't know what to do with it. I didn't have no intentions of, making beats or whatever, So it's just like one of those things. I'm like, all right. So I started learning and, just kind of went from there and, just taking it day by day, just learning different things and just trying to learn the craft as much as I can.
Dude, that's where it's all at, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, did you guys know each other like beforehand or did you meet through like making beats?
I mean, it's crazy because I went to school with his brother, his younger brother, and me and him were like best friends and stuff like that. And, we have our moms know each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've always seen, I've seen Nito, but like, never just like we had a full blown on conversation and stuff like that. So we actually got clicked up, probably about a year ago, a year or two, maybe.
I'd say 2.
Yeah, maybe almost 2 years. And, I was already doing my thing. I already had started, producing. And, he had actually hit me up a few times. He would ask me, just on tips on like, oh, how do you do this and how do you do that? And, me, I always try to, spread the knowledge and all that, And, I hit him up. I'm like, yeah, you got to do this. And I seen he was listening and all that. He took what I was telling him and really applied it to his music. So eventually, I ended up getting, into the engineering and getting into doing vocals, and I got my own little spot. And, one day he was like, yo, I'm trying to cook up with you, whatever. And
When I had the confidence to,
Yeah.
finally.
That's where it's at, man.
So he, I was like, all right, I know your brother, I know you a little bit. So he came through, and, ever since then, me and him been locked in, he's a real hard worker, so it's like, we really, we really vibe when we in the studio and stuff. So it's like,
Definitely.
yeah. So it's like, I'll tell him to do something, or he'll tell me, like, we really bounce off each other, So that's really like how we locked in, what I'm saying? Like, we had some little bit of knowledge of each other, but now we're like this, what I'm saying? So
Yeah, definitely, man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna come back to that in a little bit, but no, man. But that's so nice that you got that like that cohesion and stuff together, man. Because like, dude, when it comes to like collaborating and stuff, it's like we all have our certain ideas, and like we have our own personal ideas of what sounds good and all that stuff. But like being able to bounce off and get some different perspectives and stuff, it's like, dude.
Definitely.
And like for me, like I was so nervous, like collab with him at first because I felt like I wasn't ready. And then I was like, you know what? At some point, I'm gonna just be like, hit him up one day and just finally do it. And that's what I did. And I'm glad I did because he served as a really good mentor for me, and I've gotten so much better thanks to him.
Dude,
Appreciate it, man.
that's amazing, man. So kind of like going off of that too, what would you guys say is like, do you have any specific artists that kind of like influence you, or like is there a specific genre of music that you guys like?
So my favorite genre is obviously hip hop, trap, but I dabble in a little R&B here and there. And I'd say my biggest influence, you said like biggest influence of like me producing, right?
Yeah.
Surprisingly, well, maybe like really, really fully invest was Sierra, because she was doing her thing, becoming an esthetician. I was there when she got her license, and I was like, you know what? If my wife could do this, I can fully invest in music and just take off.
That's beautiful.
And not only that, Nick Mira, who we mentioned earlier, Nick Mira is a huge influence to me. He's a really, really great producer. And let's see, Pierre Bourne too. Shout out Pierre.
It's amazing, man.
Yeah, I'd say like influence wise, like on me, like I'd say like, man, there's so many artists and there's so many producers, but I mean I feel like artist wise, I was more into rap and trap music, so I would say like artist wise like Speaker Knockers and Lil Durk and these type of people, and then like producers, Nick Mira of course, DJ Chop Squad, who else? Metro Boomin, like Mike Will Made It, all these producers, like I had a big influence from them, and that's what really, I looking at what they did and looking at like their stories and their backgrounds and just seeing like they're not too different from me, what I'm saying? Same stories, similar things going on. So yeah, that was a big inspiration, behind a lot of that stuff on this producing thing.
That's incredible, man. No, and it's good to like draw from like different inspirations and stuff like that.
Oh
too,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like, dude, I don't know. You gotta be eclectic, man. Gotta be eclectic.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, I listen to a lot of different genres of music though, like everything. Like I don't discriminate music at all. So it's like
No.
and it helps with the producing because it's like, I do get people who come in. Obviously a lot of it is rap and but I do get a lot of people who come in with these different genres. So I'm able to, I might have not did it before, but I've listened to this music so much that, all right, I kind of know what it's supposed to sound like, so I'll be able to just adapt pretty much to the whatever I got to deal with and whatever I'm doing,
Dude, no, absolutely, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm always trying to like, make different style of beats too, experiment a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's what I'm always doing.
No, and it's good too, cause like I don't know, like obviously it's good to have that kind of like signature sound and stuff, have the things that you work on and that you're known for. But like, dude, I guess it's just like life, man. You always want to be learning and trying new stuff, man. So it's like
it gets fun, like very fun,
dude.
Yeah, once you get deep into it, it gets like you're just learning. It's just like there's so much stuff you could learn from music and learn about music, and it's like as a producer, it's like you're growing every day. Every day. Like you might see something new. You might have someone that comes into the studio that be like, well, I had somebody do this, or, whatever the case may be. Artist wise, you learn a lot from artists. Artists are a big influence on you know, everything I do, you know what I'm saying? Just all the local talent and all that. Just them coming in like, oh, I like this way, you know, and, you know, just learning from them, bouncing off their ideas and just being able to evolve. It's just something new every day.
Dude.
It's never a dull moment.
Nah, man.
Never.
Dude, so would you guys say then it's like it's kind of important that you collab with other people and other artists
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff, man?
definitely.
yeah.
It's a big. That's one thing that's like number one keys. You know, just getting to know different people, or you know, because you never know who knows who.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, whatever connects you have or whatever, you got to establish them, and you know, treat these people like, you know, like they're your friends too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you
man.
treat them, because the way you treat somebody, it's gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? So like, whether it be with beats or studio time, you know, and just do these things, because it just takes one song to blow up or one person to hear it, and you're like, boom, your life changed. You know?
Yeah, and so to bounce off that, yeah, it's definitely important to network because, you know, yeah, possible connections to artists you never thought you'd work with. Like me, like, you know, when I started coming around him, some of the artists started fucking with me too. And I was like, dang, like, I didn't think they liked my beats like that, but you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised who would be interested in your music. And that's a huge thing. I had a lot of self-doubt coming into this, and it's, yeah, even to this day, but day by day I get better with that, and confidence. Now my confidence, I feel like, is really high.
Dude,
really high.
that's where it's
Confidence is key, bro. Confidence is key, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is gonna believe you.
at. No,
Exactly.
Nobody's
Yeah.
gonna take you serious if you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't feel like you can do it, then why are other people gonna take you serious and feel like you can do it too? You know?
Dude, no, for real though. Like people feed off of that energy too, man.
Yeah,
So,
because I had a big problem with self doubt. You know, I used to always think like, you know, before I was even like really that good at what I was doing, you know, I used to just listen to songs on the radio or listen to beats, and I'll be like, man, why does my beats, or why does this not sound like this, or why can't I do this?
Same.
And you know, it took me time to realize, all right, like nothing's gonna sound the same overnight, you know. So it's like it took me to get around a lot of different artists, especially artists that are, you know, bigger or had more experience in, you know, professional environments or, you know, bigger environments than just here, you know.
Yeah.
So me having that really pushed me to like, okay, and then I start seeing like, okay, like these people who've been around certain people or been in these rooms with these certain people telling me like, nah, you're good at what you do, you know, builds my confidence. It's like, all right, like if they're telling me this, you know, obviously they see something that I'm not seeing, you know. So that's where the confidence building just came from. And like now you talk to me about it, I feel like I'm the best.
Yeah.
You know,
Always
like,
you got it, man.
you know,
Always
because
gotta,
as an engineer, you know, I engineer, you know, I do vocals, I do everything. So it's like, as an engineer, there's not many young engineers out here.
No, man.
There's not. So it's like, to me, in this category, you know, I feel like I'm the best, you know, and it's not to sit here and be like, you know, cocky about it. I say this humbly, but you know, what I know, you know. So it's just like one of those things where it's like, you got to have the confidence.
That's what I'm saying, man. And I love that too. You know, it's like, it's not necessarily that you're being like, you know, arrogant about it. It's like,
No, definitely.
dude, you know what you got, man.
Right.
You know your worth.
When you know,
Yes.
you know, you know.
When
What
you
I'm
know,
saying?
you know.
When you know. Yes,
Dude,
definitely.
no, for real. Okay, so kind of tying into that too, what would you like? What's your guys' way to like hype yourself up? Like, if you're about to go and do something like, you know, really serious, or you're about to like go into a new opportunity, what's your best way of like hyping yourself up?
For me, it's like I kind of think of like the outcome, you know, and just take it day by day, and just like think like long term, you know, how would this like opportunity be good for me, like, you know, if I accept it. And that kind of just gets me going, that idea, and it gets me going and gets me pumped for the opportunity.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'd say for me, like when I'm going into like certain situations, you know, I do think long term, but you know, I also got a girlfriend and a son.
Yeah,
So, you know, me thinking about them, you know, just like realizing like this music stuff could really change our situation or change my life and do this. So like, you know, I have a big push from that, you know. So it's like that stuff, I think about that, or, you know, just being able to like just thinking in the back of my head, like, you know, because music is a passion for me, you know, music is really big on me. And, you know, I spend every day, you know, as a kid, as a teenager, listening to music. So it's just like, all right, yeah, like, you know, just being able to do something that I love, you know, it's just like, that's really what pushes me to be able to do it, you know.
Dude,
That's what I feel like. That's what everybody craves these days. It's like having that like living off your passion, your dream, you know.
Yeah, man.
And for us producers, yeah, it's really hard to do that these days because like someone in my position who doesn't engineer as much as Tone does, just relying off beat sales and just other different opportunities that might come. Definitely a challenge, but you know, I still go. I get opportunities when they come and I seize them.
Yeah, you got him, man.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Dude, that's something that I kind of like realize about our generation too, is that, you know, it seems like people are more like they're trying to hustle and stuff.
Yeah,
to, you know,
yeah.
kind of break away from you know
From the typical 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5.
Oh,
if that's
yeah.
what you do and that's what you want to do, then hey, by all means do it. But you know, I just look at it, if you got a dream and you see that you want to do something then the regular way, hey, go after it. There's no you know, there's no right or wrong way to live or how you're supposed to get your money or however you're supposed to make a living for yourself, you know? So it's like, you got a dream, go for it, because then 15, 20 years down the line, hey, if it doesn't work out, you're not going to sit there regretting every day, like, dang, like, what if I did this? You know, you won't have that what if mentality, like, nah, all right, if it don't work out, it don't work out, you know?
Yeah, man.
You know, there's other ways to make money, there's other ways to make livings, and, just always try, you know? Because you can't say that I didn't try. Nobody will be able to say that you didn't try.
Dude.
Amen. Amen.
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
But no, I love that you guys mentioned too that, like, you know, it's you got to look back at the motivation that you have behind it too.
Yeah.
Like, I love that it's like family for you guys. It's definitely the same for me too, man. Like, you know, I got a family at home. You know, they've been super supportive of me. My brothers and sisters, I want to make sure that they have like a role model for them. My girlfriend, man.
Dude, yeah, definitely.
Because you know, she's not so much like musically inclined, but you know, she's in the world of art, and it's the same stuff, man.
Yeah, it's all art. It's all art.
It's hard, man, and she kills it though, man. So like, ooh, man. But you know, we're in that very creative field, man.
No, definitely having a support system is definitely big when it comes to whatever you're doing, because it's like, if you don't got the support, then you know, it's like, you're gonna feel like you can't do it.
Yeah, it makes it like think like, you know, like why should I even keep going with this? People don't even believe in me. But it's really that self confidence and the self drive that gets you going every day. That's what it is for me.
Dude, you got it, man.
Definitely.
Dude, I kind of want to backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
Dude, so, you know, we talked about how important it is to like network with people. What would you say is like the best way that you've been able to network with people? Like, where would you go and look to like meet new artists?
I'm not gonna lie, this question, this is him. He's good. I'll tell you what, he's good at networking.
Yes,
that's one thing
definitely.
about him.
So I would say obviously Instagram's huge these days. Definitely Discord. A lot of Discord communities. People, there's a lot of different producer Discord communities you can join, share ideas, you know, even collab and possibly get placements too. Like, the internet's just crazy these days. But yeah, for me, I definitely go off Instagram, and I mean, I guess you can kind of do Facebook too sometimes. Yeah, mostly just Facebook. I mean, Instagram. Facebook and Instagram are the same company, but
I feel like Instagram's like gonna be your best friend, you know. Like, definitely. Instagram, like that's really how I got, like, to me, like, that's really how I got a lot of people on board, but with my engineering and stuff like that, but you know, a lot of word of mouth with me. See, he's real good about going on the online and reaching out to people and doing all these things. See, me, I feel like I can't drive myself to go on my phone and text this person. You know, lately I've been doing it, you know. Yeah. Lately I've been doing it, and it worked out in my favor. So it's like, you know, before though, I'll just like, you know, a lot of the time people come through and hear about me. It's either through word of mouth or just me making simple little posts on, you know, on Instagram, or sharing a song that somebody dropped that I'd mixed or produced or whatever the case may be. But yeah, like, as far as like actually going and texting this person, doing this.
It can be a chore. Definitely a chore.
It is. It real life is, because it's like, sometimes it's like, you think you're just texting something, like, and that's one thing about me, is like, I used to get discouraged because I might text somebody, but I might not get a response back. So I'm like, okay, so like, why am I going to waste my time texting this person? But you got to kind of do those things, you know, because it's like, you never know who's looking at their phones. You never know who's looking at their phone at that right moment. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, lately now, you know, I've been doing that and trying to get on board with, just networking that way,
Yeah. It's definitely hit or miss though, like especially on Instagram, because like you can send a message to someone. You can even like go as far as complimenting them, to get the ball rolling. And sometimes they just don't respond. But what I find is like voice. If you actually send a voice message to them, it's more personal, and get their attention right away too.
Man, that's a good tactic, actually, man.
Yeah, it is. Gems.
I'm the type. I don't really like talking and sending my voice to people. I feel like I sound weird. I don't like my own voice. So like, I won't go as far as doing that. I'll just text somebody, be like, hey, whatever the case may be, like, hey, I make beats, whatever.
Yep.
Hey, Pookie, like your beats.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Dude, so stupid.
no.
All right, guys. So I kind of want to dive into so when you guys are making a beat, right? Starting from from scratch, dude. What's your creative process? Like, how do you get into that mentality? Where do you start off first? Like, does it kind of come to you already? Or?
So for me, it's like sometimes I like to go through like to find inspiration. I'll listen to songs that I have on repeat and try to go off something like that. Or I'll start off with an idea like simple like loop, like piano, synth, whatever the instrument might be. And I'll just go off that and build off that myself, add like a little guitar, some accents, bass, it really just depends. And it's definitely not bad in using loops.
No, man.
Oh yeah, no.
But only
everybody does it. Your favorite producer does it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like for loops, it's like I used to just drag and go off that, but now I get more creative with it because I watch a lot of YouTube's my life. So,
dude,
you learn a lot. You'll learn a lot from YouTube. You can become a producer overnight watching a lot of YouTube.
YouTube University is where it's at. YouTube University. Watching other people cook up too is actually like big inspiration too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Watching other people like
producer grind, watching them just be like, dang, I want to do what they just did right there. And I end up, man, so many times I've done that.
Oh yeah, definitely. But like as far as like me like cooking up from scratch, like see, I'm kind of just now not now, but like I'm probably like a year or two in, like really getting in there and like playing. Not really, I can't play an instrument, but I can click an instrument in. I can click it in, but it's like like I used to use loops and all that, which they're awesome. Like I feel like that's a good way to get into making your own loops. Starting to do your own samples and like build off of them. Because like I used to just use strictly loops and then just add my drums to it. Always add my drum, da 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 da. But then I started getting these loops that were a little bit more basic, and then just start adding to them, and then you start learning, and then you start like. See me, I'm a big person off of ear. I could play things. I could hear something that's out of key real quick, So it's like, okay, boom. Like now I could start seeing like, all right, well this doesn't sound right. No, okay, this complements this a little bit better. But but now like me, I can confidently get into making my own stuff from straight scratch. Making my own loops or whatever the case may be, and it's for me like when it comes to that mentality of like actually feeling is a big thing for me. So like if I'm mad or if I'm, sad, whatever, I'll go based off of that sometimes. Or, if I'm just sitting there, sometimes ideas just spring up and I'm like, oh yeah, like this sounds good. Like, oh, like there's been plenty of times like this is crazy. Like I remember one time I'm playing the game with my girl. Me and my girl, we play the game together. And, I'm playing the game. She sings. She could sing really well. She was in chorus and did all this. So she starts singing a song. I'm like, hey, that sounds like good as a sample in the back of a beat. So I told her, I'm like, hey, come downstairs. I'm like, come in here. And I had her hop straight on the mic. I'm like, hey, say this way. And then boom, take it, filter it, EQ it, make it sound, like a sample. And then put it behind the beat or make a beat around it, So it's like doing stuff like that, like that's real big on me. Like I could just pull inspiration from anywhere.
It really just be the simplest things like that. And instantly have a hit.
Dude, yeah. Nah, for real though, dude. Dude, speaking of games and like the beats and stuff, dude. You guys ever play Miles Morales, Spider-Man?
I love watching like gameplay of it,
dude.
but I don't have it. Like,
Yeah,
we're both Xbox.
yeah, we play on Xbox. We don't got PlayStation.
Dude, I'm dying.
PlayStation?
I'm PlayStation, dude.
Hey,
Hey, I respect it though. Man.
honestly, that's probably the only reason why I would get a PlayStation is for
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
definitely
'cause-
Spider-Man.
Dude, no, I'm saying
That game looks raw, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. That
Yes.
game looks sick, bro.
Yes.
I be seeing gameplay on. I'm like,
Damn, maybe I should make the switch, man.
maybe not Switch, but just buy it just to have that one game, you know?
Yeah, for real.
No,
Love Spider-Man.
dude. But the reason I bring it up, man, is because so in the Miles Morales, dude, they have it to where like he's like mixing with his uncle and stuff, and you got to go out in the world and like you pick up little like there'll be like a bell ringing over here, and you got to like find the sample and match the waves and stuff.
That's
So
wild.
like-
That's dope.
Dude, it's
dope.
That's
dude,
dope.
I made it sound like a lot more boring than it actually is, but that reminded me so much of it, man. It's like, you know, you got stuff around you, and it's like, you know, you just feel the music around you, and you draw from everywhere, dude.
Oh, yeah,
So it's
there-
like-
I really want to get like a tape recorder
Dude.
and just record like outside noises and stuff because
Oh,
you can
yeah.
even that can even turn into something too.
Yeah,
Texture.
I forgot what talk show it was. I think it was Jimmy Fallon or something. They had this one singer. I can't think of his name. The dude who sang in "See You Again" with Wiz Khalifa.
Charlie Puth.
Yeah.
Charlie
So
Puth.
like they brought him on the show, and he literally grabbed a cup and hit it with a spoon.
Yeah.
And made a whole beat out of it, like just from the sound of a spoon. You know what I'm saying? Or the
I
sound
love
of the cup.
Charlie Puth.
Yeah.
Dude.
No, he's a good artist. So it's like
It's crazy.
seeing that. Should inspire people like, dang, you could really make music out of anything. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you just
He-
took a cup and just
And he
and,
would
and it went crazy.
yeah, he legit like records all of his music. He produces everything that he makes.
Which is
Like,
crazy.
yeah, I've seen a couple of his videos like that, the cup one, and man, a couple other ones too.
He's produced a lot of songs. See, there's a lot of singers. There's a lot of people that you wouldn't think made these songs for these people. See, that's the one thing about the industry. A lot of these artists, once they get to a certain point, they get kind of lazy. So they got people around them that are gonna write songs for them, do this, and you wouldn't even think that certain people wrote these songs, or you think it's all coming from the artist. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like a lot of people write songwriters.
That's another thing too. Like if you have that if you're very versatile in the music industry, you'll definitely have more opportunities. Like
Oh yeah.
songwriting. You know, just making beats for somebody, engineering. You can do all that. Jack of all trades. You know, more opportunities come.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of like that. See, like me personally, like I make music too. Like, you know, I sing, rap, whatever, but I don't put it.
Oh my bad. I would say I've been like sometimes when we like hook up with each other, we'll record songs. Like I'll record his songs, like engineer his songs for him. We have so many.
Yeah. No, yeah, because it's like, you know, like to me, like if I could do these things and, you know, just make myself more versatile and just make myself better at music in all aspects, why not? You know what I'm saying? Because there's been times I've had artists come in and they're trying to come up with like certain lyrics or a certain flow on a beat. And I'm like, oh, well, do it this way or do it that way. Like, you know, like me personally, I don't put my music out there because, you know, that it's not bad, but, you know, I don't want to do that. You know, I don't want to be known as the rapper or the singer. You know, I like producing. So it's like I do these things for like fun and just, you know, I'm helping him out. You know, I want him to learn how to engineer too because, you know, engineering is a plus for you as a producer because not only it'll create more opportunity for you, but it's another source of income, you know, because I was the same way. You know, I used to always, you know, sell beats and try to, you know, you don't sell a beat every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I forgot who, I think it was this one producer, Bricks the Main.
Yeah.
He said, you know, I remember him saying, he was like, well, if you're going to be a producer and you're in a room and say the engineer's not there or whatever the case may be, you could be that person that steps up like, oh, I know how to engineer, and you save the session. And you did this and you did
Save
that.
the session.
And you open yourself up to more opportunity to do things that, you know, that you didn't think you would do as a producer, you know, doing these, you know, engineering is fun too, you know, like you get to be more creative and, you know, that's what I like. I get to make a beat, but also record the song. So I have control of the song all the way through. So like that's one thing for me is like, okay, even if I make the beat and I didn't put like a little pause in there or a little, you know, whatever, a little drop in the beat, I could just do it right there.
That's like the most funnest thing about engineering is like making the drops and like Man, I see him do all kind of things like EQ a certain section, make it sound like Drake. You know what I mean? Like a Drake song.
Dude.
Man, it's so crazy what you can do to make a hit.
Yeah, definitely. Insane. I've definitely done a lot of different things, but, I had as far as engineering, I did have another producer from around here. His name's Roque. And, he taught me a lot. Like he's been engineering for 10 plus years. So it's like within a year of being around him, it took my engineering to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Like, I swear, like, if I didn't have him around me or not going over there, I'm not saying that I was bad, but it probably would have took me longer to grasp on, like, different things or different ways to do drops or different ways to make a person's voice sound and stuff like that. Like, having him around me, just going to his crib, watching him record people, watching him do this, watching him do that. Like me, he didn't even have to explain nothing to me. I'm just watching. He would tell me, like, sometimes, like, oh yeah, I do it this way, you know what I'm saying? But just me watching and just seeing what he does, I'm like, all right, like, let me see if I could do the same thing and then change it up a little bit, make it sound, you know what I'm saying? Not steal his sauce, but get inspiration from it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like listening to how he mixes his songs and listening to him to do this, and I'm like, okay, all right, well, maybe now I could replicate that,
Awesome. But no, man, everything that you guys just said, man, like, it's crazy because it's like you always want to give credit where it's due and stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah,
like,
definitely.
Dude, you draw inspiration from everybody, like, that's around you and stuff, man. And it's like, dude, it's a beautiful thing, though, man.
Oh, yeah, like, no, definitely. Like I said, like, even me being around this other artist, his name's MVT Dink, he's a big artist out here, too. He's probably one of the biggest artists. Dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's pulling in views, he's doing whatever, like, this is a person that takes his craft serious, and being around him, when I first met him, I actually hit him up and he slid through to my spot and, he recorded, and he's been in these rooms before, like he's been talking, had talks with Atlantic, and he's been in these rooms, whatever. And hearing him just tell me like, yeah, bro, like you cold with it, you I like what you're doing, like stuff like that. That goes back to me, like hearing these people tell me like, hey, bro, you're good at what you do, giving me the confidence, and me being around him like, hey, maybe because he even gave me the ideas like, hey, you should upgrade your mic, upgrade this, upgrade that, and just really driving it into me. I'm like, all right, like he really pushed me to get a better quality sound and stuff like that, and. I'm just like, okay, like, bet, like, this sounds good. Like, okay, I'm seeing the difference. And, like, him, like, he's been rapping for a long time. Dude. But he's been able to stay relevant and been able to, keep up with the sound, because he's a little bit older than us, He's a little bit older than us, but he's still, you wouldn't think he was older. The way he raps, bro, you would have thought he was 20, 22 years old.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, being around him, he really, like, pushed me to be like, all right, yeah, like, yeah, Tone, you got to do this, you got to do that. Hey, maybe make me sound like this, or this is how I'm supposed to do it. And then even Roque, he's older than me too. Oh yeah, Tone, like make him sound like this, or do this, do that, doing all this other stuff. So it's like, all right, bet, like, and that really pushed me to get better and get better to where the point it's like, now I'm confident. I'm so confident in myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, like having people like that around you is like key. People that are gonna push you.
That's where it's at, man.
Yep.
So, you guys, what would you say, okay, like the end goal of it all? What like, at what point do you think you'd be like, okay, man, I've made it, I'm doing my thing here, man. I still got work to do, but, like, what would you say would be the moment that you're looking forward to most?
I would say for me, it's like my big, first big, like, placement. Like, with Tone, he just got G Herbo.
Yeah,
dude. Me,
yeah, that was big.
Yeah, that was pretty big, man. Yeah, my first major placement. I don't care who it is, like I'm willing to work till that goal. That's when I'll say like I'd really like make it for sure.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I'd say me, man. Like when I know it's like when I know like it's that's it. Like it's definitely when I'm like constantly around these big artists. Like knowing that. I got I get fat checks, you know what I'm saying? Like, not just because of the money, but, to take care of everybody. Once I'm in a position to be able to be like, hey, you know what? Hey, here, don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. That's really the end goal for me, is to be able just to take care and make sure everybody's good around me. And, because I don't do music for money. That's just, to me, I always tell everybody, like, music isn't about money to me. It's just a perk to it. It's just a perk to me. Like, I'm not all about money. I'm not materialistic or nothing like that. So it's like I'm just doing this because I love to do it.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's
the fame, based on the love of it, man, the fame and all that stuff.
That's just perks with it. That's just perks. That's just perks to what we're doing. And even if and I don't need to be famous.
No.
You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of producers that aren't famous, but they run their own studios. They make money doing this. And I'm fine with that. That would be my end goal, anyways, because. I want to eventually open up a studio, and, like, that's why I'm even teaching him to engineer and get him going, because it's like, if I open up a studio, hey, I'm going to need people to help me.
Yeah.
Because I want to have multiple rooms, where we could just run session. And that's why I'm teaching him now, like, really just how to engineer and eventually, have him get his own big setup, because like me, I already got, microphones, I got this, I got that, so it's like, that's really like what I want to work towards too. Now that's like really one of my goals right now, you know what I'm saying? Cause I feel like this year, or not this year, but last year, 2023 was a real big year for me, cause like I said, 2023, beginning of the year, business was kind of slow with the studio, so it's like, I just was like, damn, like, all right, can I really do this? Because, like, I was working too.
Yeah.
I was working at Amazon, and, I'm just like, all right. But then I started, like, seeing myself kind of drift away from music, because I was always working. I was working 10-hour shifts, and then, like, I feel like I just spoke it into existence. I'm like, man, I need more people in here. And then eventually, I met this dude, Montclair. He was big on his music. He's like kind of like, I would say he's kind of like a Ken Carson, Cardi, and all of them, like, all combined. But he got his own swag. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
And him hitting me up, and all these other people that I was close ties with, and I was just like, all right, you know what? They're hitting me up for sessions, and I would leave work to go do these music sessions, because I was making more money doing that. So I'm like, why am I going to spend 10 hours here when I literally just made what I would make in that 10 hours in a couple hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I started leaving, and eventually I'm just like, you know what? I got people coming in already, I got business, and I was just like, you know what? Screw it. I quit and started being in the studio every day, people coming over. Not every single day, but it was good enough. It was good enough to where I'm making good money to do what I got to do, and take care of what I got to take care.
Yep.
And then then that's when I ran into Dink, and just being around him every day, and with him, he definitely opened up a lot of opportunities for me, bro. Because like he definitely did. He was one of the first rappers that really like started putting like videos out there, like gaining numbers. I think the first song that me and him did, where he put a video out, it did 13,000 in a day. Jesus. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, all right, I gotta keep going. And then we did. Dink really helped me out a lot, with this year too, because it's like me and him really developed a good relationship. And we recently just did On the Radar. I don't know if you've heard of On the Radar. It's a freestyle show, Lil Yachty, Drake, dude. Everybody's been on there, and it's like a freestyle show. So they go do whatever. And we just did that, and then a couple weeks ago, we just did the G Herbo feature, dude. And I recorded half the song, which was Dink's part, and did the beat. So that was crazy to me. That was my first major placement. Yep, and for us to be in that room hanging out with him, and we was in there. We were probably in there 4 or 5 hours, dude. And like, we walked in there, we did our business, and, he was fucking with us, like I got, he was like, hey, you made this beat, I'm fucking with it, I'm fucking with you. That's awesome. Him and Dink, just talking it up, chopping it up for a little bit. And, when I was just, being in that environment, that to me, like, really opened my eyes, like, I belong here. Man, I belong here, you know what I'm saying? And that really boosted my confidence a lot.
That's good, man.
And that opened up a lot of doors, just being able to say, like, hey, yeah, I got a song with G Herbo. How many people done hit me up, telling me, like, hey, I'm trying to come fuck with you. I'm trying to come do this with you. Hey, can you make me beats? Bro, that opened up so many doors for me, and it's like, it's good, So now it's like, now I'm in a position where it's like, I don't got to outsource no more like that. I'm always am. People are coming to me now. Like, hey, bro, I'm trying to work with you. I'm trying to do this, and I'm trying to that. I still but now I'm outsourcing to the people that are bigger.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Way
That's
bigger.
amazing,
Bigger
man.
crowd. Yeah.
Bigger, you know, people who got bigger audiences and people who are actually pulling in, you know, 100,000 views, 20,000 views, 30,000 views on a regular. And I've got in contact with a few people. You know, I'm not gonna say who because I don't want to. You know, I don't want to say it until it's
there,
done,
dude.
Yeah.
So it's like the G Herbo thing is done, so I can talk about it. You know, so it's like now that I'm just capitalizing off all these things that are happening because, like I said, 2023 that was a good year for me. Now 2024 coming up, oh yeah, I got a lot in store this year, bro. I got a lot in store, bro.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. You guys, I'm so excited for you both, dude. You guys
Thank
are
you.
grinding, man. You're pushing hard for it, man. You guys deserve it, man.
Appreciate it.
Anytime, guys. But unfortunately, we got to start wrapping up, man.
All right.
But you guys, what is the best way for people to follow you, to reach you, to get in contact with you guys, man?
So with me, I'm a big Instagram head, so you can follow me at NitoBeatz99. And then I'm on TikTok, Facebook too. Facebook name Juan Lopez. TikTok is NitoBeatz99 too, I believe. And yeah, Discord. I'm not really on Discord like that, but if you invite me to a channel, I'll join.
Yeah, my Instagram's itstonecapone, all lowercase, and then Facebook, itstonecapone beats. TikTok, it's Tone. Everything is it's Tone Capone.
Yeah.
YouTube, TikTok, whatever. It's Tone Capone. That's
Yeah.
the best way to reach me. Especially you want to get your sessions in, book your sessions. Do
Yeah.
all that.
Dude, that's absolutely amazing, guys. Well, you guys, like I said, man, you guys are on your way, dude. All right, you
Appreciate
guys,
you, man.
big placements are coming, man. It's coming for you, Juan. I know. it,
Yep,
man.
I already know it, man. I'm trusting the process with this.
Oh yeah,
dude.
One day at a time.
That's why I'm always trying to collab with him because I'm trying to get him the same thing with him, man. I'm trying to get him in that door too.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. That's beautiful, guys. You guys deserve it, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Anytime. But until then, you guys, this has been an incredible episode. Two incredible guys. They're on their way. And let this be a lesson, man. Let this, show as an example that you stick with your grind, man. You're gonna get to where you want to be.
Facts.
But you guys, I'm your host Danny Giraffa. This has been a story of the studio. We'll work on it.